In J.R.R. Tolkien's magnum opus, The Lord of the Rings, Arwen, the immortal elf maiden, makes a choice that echoes through time and literature. Looking into the eyes of her mortal beloved, Aragorn, she says, "I would rather share one lifetime with you than face all the ages of this world alone. I choose a mortal life." That, in its very essence, is love. Not just the spark of affection, but the commitment to walk through the fire, to journey hand in hand through valleys of darkness and peaks of joy, even when it means making the ultimate sacrifice. It's this same spirit that we find in the unlikely yet powerful love story of Tulsi Gabbard and Abraham Williams. Two souls from different walks of life who found each other and held on. Through storms and sunshine, through ambition and adversity. The year was 2012. Honolulu's air was thick with the buzz of politics and palm trees swayed gently under the island sun. Tulsi Gabbard, a war veteran, rising star, and relentless force of nature, was campaigning for a seat in the U.S. House of Representatives. She was bold, passionate, and deeply committed to public service. Her military experience, having served in Iraq, shaped her perspective and grounded her ambitions. Meanwhile, Abraham Williams, a talented cinematographer and filmmaker with a gentle spirit and curious eyes, volunteered for the campaign. He moved silently behind the scenes, often capturing candid shots of Tulsi speaking to voters. Sharing her vision, walking neighborhoods with purpose. At that time, they exchanged little more than courteous greetings. A nod of respect, a handshake, the occasional smile across a crowded room. Nothing more. Cupid, it seems, was still busy stringing his bow. It wasn't until a year and a half later that the winds of fate stirred. Tulsi's friend threw a birthday party in her honor, a gathering of laughter and lei, of joy and music. Among the invitees was Abraham. In the warmth of the night, with tiki torches flickering and ocean waves murmuring nearby, they finally had the chance to just be. No podiums, no lenses, no politics. As Tulsi later recalled in an interview, it was the first time they really got to kick back and talk. About life, dreams, and the things that truly mattered. Abraham, a man of few but intentional words, took the leap and asked her out. There was no grand gesture, just a simple, heartfelt invitation to get to know each other beyond titles and duties. That moment became the cornerstone of something extraordinary. What drew Tulsi and Abraham together wasn't just attraction. It was affinity. Despite their very different career paths, they found shared passions that bound them more tightly than any political slogan or creative endeavor. Both were ocean lovers, souls stirred by waves and wind. Water became their sacred space, the place they retreated to when the world roared too loudly. They surfed together, swam together, laughed in the tides. In the salt and sun of Hawaii's pristine shores, their love deepened with each wave they chased. And then, one day, as the sun painted the horizon in hues of gold and crimson, Abraham did something unforgettable. He paddled over to Tulsi on his surfboard, concealing a makeshift contraption. A gold duct tape-covered flotation device tethered with a small box. Within it sparkled a ring, glinting with hope and promise. With a calm but steady voice, Abraham looked at her and said, "I have a question for you. Will you marry me?" It wasn't rehearsed. It wasn't a viral moment planned for cameras. It was raw, poetic, and real. Like their love. She said yes. On April 9, 2015, Tulsi Gabbard and Abraham Williams were married in a traditional Vedic ceremony, rich with Hindu customs, chanting of mantras, and sacred fire. Tulsi, who has always embraced the spiritual tenets of Hinduism, wore traditional Indian attire, her spirit glowing with love and reverence. The ceremony wasn't just a marriage. It was a union of souls in the deepest spiritual sense. It was a reflection of mutual respect, something many couples strive for but few achieve so gracefully. Over the next few years, the couple supported each other through seismic shifts. Tulsi continued her political career, gaining national prominence, and even launched a historic bid for the presidency in 2020. Abraham, behind the camera, chronicled not only the world but also quietly supported the woman he loved, his strength often found in stillness and patience. Tulsi, speaking to Meghan McCain in a heartfelt interview, revealed one of the most vulnerable chapters of their life. Their struggles with fertility. They had undergone multiple rounds of IVF, each time met with heartbreak. The emotional toll was immense. As hard as this was for me, it was extremely hard for Abraham to just watch this heartbreak over and over again, she said, her voice filled with both sorrow and admiration. Their decision to pause the treatments in 2020 came not out of resignation, but of focus. Tulsi had decided to run for president. And Abraham stood by her, unwavering. Love, as author James Baldwin once wrote, does not begin and end the way we seem to think it does. Love is a battle, love is a war, love is growing up. For Tulsi and Abraham, love was all that and more. It was a commitment to weather storms together. On their 5th wedding anniversary, Tulsi penned a note to Abraham that touched thousands online. It read, "To my husband Abraham Williams. 5 years ago today, I walked down the aisle and into your arms. I have never looked back. I love you with all of my heart. I am endlessly grateful for you. Your love, your friendship, your incredible support. Our surf time, from sunny Hawaii to snowy New Hampshire. Our cooking and eating adventures. Your serenading and endless sound effects. The way you make me laugh. And so much more. I look forward to whatever lies ahead for us. Together. Happy anniversary." It was a letter not just of affection but of deep appreciation. In that message, she painted the picture of a love grounded in daily joys, inside jokes, and unspoken understanding. They weren't perfect, but they were perfect for each other. In every photograph, in every shared glance, in every anecdote told in interviews and public posts, one thing becomes clear. Abraham and Tulsi love not just each other, but life together. From cooking and surfing, to supporting one another's dreams, their relationship thrives on partnership. Abraham's background as a filmmaker, working on documentaries, music videos, and visual storytelling, might seem worlds apart from Tulsi's roles as a politician, soldier, and activist. But in truth, they are both storytellers. One uses a camera, the other uses policy and platforms. Together, they tell the story of hope, of action, of resilience. As the Bhagavad Gita says, love is not a mere sentiment. It is the ultimate truth at the heart of creation. For Tulsi and Abraham, love is a guiding principle. Not a fleeting feeling, but a force that moves them through life's hardest battles and brightest days. Their faith, their mutual respect, their laughter under starlit skies, and their silent strength in times of pain. These are the testaments to their journey. And in a world often rushing past authentic connections, their story reminds us to slow down and appreciate the beauty of showing up for each other, every day. Now, more than 10 years into their marriage, Tulsi and Abraham continue to walk their path with grace and purpose. They may not have the fairy tale ending with fireworks and flashbulbs, but they have something more enduring. A love forged in truth, tested by trials, and adorned with moments both extraordinary and mundane. Like Arwen and Aragorn, they chose each other. Not for a moment, but for a lifetime. And perhaps that is the most heartwarming part of all.